Have you ever wondered why Japanese students are famous all over the world for their discipline, hard work, and success? When you hear about Japan, maybe you think about technology, anime, samurai, sushi, or beautiful cherry blossoms. But hidden inside Japanese culture are powerful secrets. Secrets that students can use to become toppers. These are not just study tips. They are life lessons that shape the mind, build character, and push people to reach the highest level of success. Japanese students do not always have the highest IQ. They are not born geniuses. But they follow certain rules, certain habits, certain ways of thinking that help them shine in their studies and in life. And today, here on English Achieve, I will share with you 7 Japanese secrets that you can start using right now. If you follow them step by step, you will notice a big change in your focus, your discipline, and your results. These secrets are simple, but they are very powerful. Stay with me until the end, because the last secret is something very few people know, and it can completely change the way you study and live your life. Secret 1. Kaizen, the power of small steps. In Japanese, the word Kaizen means continuous improvement. At first, this may sound like a simple idea, but if you look closely, you will see that this one principle has the power to change your life forever. Kaizen teaches us that real success does not come from one giant step, but from many small steps taken consistently. Most students believe that success is like a sudden miracle. They think if they study all night before an exam, they will become toppers. They depend on last-minute pressure. They drink coffee, stay awake for long hours, and try to push everything into their memory in one sitting. But this method rarely works. It only brings stress, frustration, and weak results. Japanese students, on the other hand, follow Kaizen. They understand that small actions repeated every day create a mountain of success over time. Imagine this. If you study only 30 minutes each day, that seems like nothing. But if you keep going for a full year, you will have studied for over 180 hours. That is the secret. Small efforts, but done daily, bring massive results. Kaizen is not only about study time. It is also about small habits and small improvements. It means asking yourself every day, how can I be just 1% better today? Maybe today, you decide to sit with better posture so that your mind stays active. Tomorrow, you might learn one extra new word in English. The next day, you may solve 2 more math questions than usual. Each of these actions looks small, almost invisible. But just like a seed growing into a tree, these tiny actions build your future success. Think about water. A single drop of water is weak. It cannot break a rock. But when drops of water fall continuously, day after day, year after year, even the hardest rock can be shaped. This is the power of Kaizen. It is the power of patience, persistence, and small steps. Many students fail because they want quick results. They want to go from the bottom to the top overnight. But real toppers know that life doesn't work that way. Success grows slowly, like the rising sun. It takes time, but once it shines, nothing can stop it. Kaizen also protects you from stress. When you follow Kaizen, you do not need to fear exams. Why? Because you are already prepared. Every day you have been studying, even if just a little. You are not depending on one night of pressure. You are building strength slowly, like an athlete training for months before a race. By the time the exam comes, you are calm, confident, and ready. Let's take an example. Imagine 2 students, David and John. David studies only before exams. He tries to push everything into his brain in 1 week. He feels nervous, tired, and full of fear. John, on the other hand, uses Kaizen. Every day, he spends just 1 hour revising and learning. He does not rush. He does not panic. When the exam comes, who do you think will perform better? Of course, John, the Kaizen student. Kaizen is not about doing more work. It is about doing work regularly. Even if you feel lazy, tell yourself, I will do something small today. Maybe you don't want to study for 2 hours. That's fine. Just study for 10 minutes. But do it every day. Small actions done daily create discipline. And discipline creates success. Another beauty of Kaizen is that it gives you confidence. Many students look at big goals and feel scared. They say, I can't do this. It's too much. But when you break the goal into small steps, it feels easier. If you want to read a 300-page book, don't focus on the number 300. Focus on reading just 5 pages today. Then tomorrow, another 5 pages. Slowly, without even noticing, you will finish the book. This is why Japanese students don't chase perfection. They chase progress. They believe that improvement is more important than perfection. If you do something a little better today than yesterday, you are already winning. Toppers are made from progress, not perfection. So, my dear friend, start using Kaizen in your life. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for motivation to magically appear. Begin now, with small steps. Study 1 extra word, solve 1 extra question, write 1 extra sentence, revise 1 extra page. Day by day, your small steps will carry you forward. Remember this: success is not a single event. It is a daily habit. Kaizen is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. If you follow Kaizen, you will not only pass exams, but you will rise higher and higher, step by step, until you reach the very top. Secret 2. Ikigai. Find your reason to study. Have you ever asked yourself, why am I studying? Think about it honestly. Many students, when asked this question, give very simple answers. Because I have an exam. Or because my parents told me to. Or because everyone else is studying. These answers may be true, but they are not strong enough. That is why studying feels heavy, boring, and painful for so many people. But Japanese students often think differently. They live by a beautiful word called Ikigai. In English, Ikigai means your reason for being, the reason you wake up in the morning, the reason you keep moving forward, the reason you give your best. It is not just about studying. It is about life, energy, and purpose. When Japanese students study, they don't just think about passing exams. They connect their learning with something bigger, something meaningful. They think about their family, their community, their society, and their future dreams. For them, studying is not just about marks. It is about building a life that has meaning. Let me give you an example. Imagine a student who dreams of becoming a doctor. He does not study biology only to pass the test. He studies because deep inside, he wants to save lives. He sees his textbooks as tools that will prepare him to help people in need. That thought gives him energy. That thought gives him passion. This is Ikigai. Or think about a girl who loves technology. She studies math and science not only because it is in the syllabus, but because she dreams of building something new, something useful for the world. When she faces a difficult problem, she doesn't give up. She remembers her Ikigai, her dream, and that dream keeps her moving forward. When you connect your studies to a higher purpose, your whole energy changes. Suddenly, you no longer feel lazy. You no longer say, I hate this subject. Instead, every subject becomes part of your mission. Even the subjects you find boring become meaningful because you see them as steps on the path to your dream. Without Ikigai, studying feels like a punishment. With Ikigai, studying feels like a mission, and a mission gives you strength even on hard days. Think about soldiers. They train every day. They go through pain and suffering, but they keep going because they know their mission is to protect their country. In the same way, students with Ikigai study not because someone is forcing them, but because they know it will take them to their dream. So, let me ask you, what is your Ikigai? Have you discovered it yet? Maybe your Ikigai is to help your family, to give them a better life. Maybe your Ikigai is to become independent, to stand on your own feet. Maybe your Ikigai is to make your country proud. Or maybe your Ikigai is to build something new for the future, something the world has never seen before. Your Ikigai does not need to be big or perfect. It just needs to be true. It needs to touch your heart. Once you find it, everything changes. You will start waking up earlier. You will study with more focus. You will stop wasting time. Because now you are not studying for marks. You are studying for your life, for your mission. The truth is, students without Ikigai easily give up. The moment things get hard, they say, "I can't do this." But students with Ikigai never stop. They keep going, even when they fail, even when they feel tired, even when nobody believes in them. Why? Because their reason is strong. Their mission is clear. Ikigai also gives you joy. It makes your journey meaningful. You don't feel empty. You don't feel lost. You feel like every step you take is building the future you dream about. That feeling makes you powerful. That feeling turns an ordinary student into a topper. So, my dear friend, today I want you to pause and ask yourself honestly, why am I studying? What is my Ikigai? Don't just copy others' answers. Find your own. Maybe it is family. Maybe it is your dream job. Maybe it is your passion for learning. Whatever it is, hold it close to your heart. Write it down. Remember it every day. Because once you know your Ikigai, you will never see studying the same way again. It will not feel like a burden. It will feel like a calling. And students with a calling always rise higher than students without one. Remember this. Marks may give you a certificate, but Ikigai will give you a future. Find your reason, hold on to it, and let it guide you every single day. That is the Japanese secret of Ikigai, and it can transform your life as a student forever. Secret 3. Shuchu Ryoku, the art of deep focus. In Japan, there is a deep respect for the art of focus. From childhood, students are trained to develop something called Shuchu Ryoku, which means the power of concentration. This is not just about studying for exams. It is about learning how to control your mind, how to give your full attention to one thing at a time, and how to block out everything else. You may have noticed that when Japanese students work, they give their complete attention. No phones, no background distractions, no half effort, just pure focus. They believe in a powerful saying, when you do one thing, do only that thing. This is the heart of Shuchu Ryoku. The problem with many students today is not that they do not study. The real problem is that when they sit down to study, their mind is everywhere. One notification from the phone, one short video, one random thought, and suddenly, their concentration is broken. Hours are spent with books open, but very little is actually learned. This is why so many students feel frustrated. They spend time, but they don't see results. Japanese students understand something important. 1 hour of deep focus is more valuable than 3 hours of distracted work. Even if they only study for a short time, that time is powerful because their mind is completely present. Their energy, their thoughts, their attention, all are pointed in one direction. This is the secret that turns ordinary study sessions into extraordinary progress. So, how can you build Shuchu Ryoku in your own life? The answer is simple. Start small. You don't need to suddenly force yourself to focus for 3 hours straight. Begin with short sessions. Tell yourself, for the next 25 minutes, I will only study. Nothing else. After that, give yourself a short break of 5 minutes. Then repeat the cycle. This method is known as the Pomodoro technique, but it is very close to the Japanese way of focus. Slowly, as you practice, your power of concentration will grow stronger. Imagine your focus like a muscle. If you try to lift very heavy weights on the first day at the gym, you will fail. But if you lift small weights every day, your muscles grow stronger. Soon, you will be able to lift heavy weights easily. Focus works in the same way. At first, 25 minutes may feel hard, but with practice, you will be able to focus for 1 hour, 2 hours, or even more without distraction. To practice Shuchu Ryoku, you also need to create the right environment. Japanese students often keep their study space clean and simple. A clean desk means a clean mind. Too many things around you distract your brain. So, keep only what you need on your table. Put your phone far away. Make your environment quiet. When your surroundings are calm, your mind can enter deep focus more easily. Another way to build concentration is to use rituals. In Japan, students often have routines before study, like arranging their books neatly, sitting in the same place, or starting with a short review. These small rituals tell the brain, now it's time to focus. You can create your own ritual. Maybe you light a lamp, maybe you take a deep breath, maybe you set a timer. Do it every time, and soon your brain will automatically enter focus mode. You must also learn to fight distractions from inside your own mind. Sometimes, even if you hide your phone, your thoughts distract you. You start thinking about tomorrow, about your friends, about things that don't matter at the moment. This is natural. The trick is not to fight the thoughts, but to bring your attention back gently. Every time your mind wanders, remind yourself, back to focus. With practice, you will notice that your brain obeys you more and more. Remember this truth. Toppers are not those who study the most hours. Toppers are those who study with the highest quality of focus. That is why some students can study for 5 hours and still not understand, while others study for just 2 hours and master everything. It is not about time. It is about concentration. Shuchu Ryoku also helps you in life beyond studies. When you learn to focus deeply, you perform better in every area. Whether it is listening to people, practicing a skill, or working on your goals. People around you will notice your sharp attention, and they will respect you for it. So, my dear friend, from today onwards, make a promise to yourself. I will build my Shuchu Ryoku. Start small, but start now. Remove distractions. Create rituals. Focus for short sessions and slowly increase. Train your brain like a muscle. Step by step, your ability to concentrate will become unshakable. And when you master Shuchu Ryoku, you will master your mind. And when you master your mind, no exam, no subject, and no challenge will be too big for you. That is the power of deep focus, the secret of toppers in Japan, and the secret that can transform your own studies and your future. Secret 4. Gamen, discipline and patience. In Japan, there is a very powerful word, gamen. This single word carries a deep meaning. It is about self-control, discipline, and the ability to stay patient even in the most difficult situations. In English, we might translate it as endurance or perseverance. But the Japanese idea of gamen is more than that. It is about holding yourself together when everything around you is trying to pull you apart. For students, gamen is a true superpower that can transform average learners into toppers. Now think carefully. Every single day, as a student, you face temptations. Your phone lights up with social media notifications. Your friends invite you to play games or go out. Sometimes you just want to lie in bed for 5 more minutes that turn into an hour. These temptations are normal. Everyone has them. But here is the difference. Average students give in to those temptations, while toppers learn to resist. They tell themselves, "Not now, I will enjoy later. First, I will finish my duty." That short sentence is the very spirit of gamen. Japanese children are taught this value from an early age. In fact, it is part of their culture. If you look at Japan's trains, they are famous for being on time, sometimes within seconds. The workers who run those trains wake up very early, follow a strict routine, and do their jobs with full attention. It is not just about habit. It is about deep discipline. You may also have heard stories of Japanese school children cleaning their classrooms or workers cleaning their offices after work. Nobody tells them, "You must do it." They do it because they have been raised with gamen. The idea that discipline, patience, and self-respect are more important than taking the easy way out. As a student, you can apply this secret directly in your studies. Imagine you are preparing for an exam. The subject is hard. Maybe it is mathematics, or science, or history. You open the book, but after 10 minutes, you feel bored. The temptation to stop is strong. Most students would say, "I'll just watch a video instead. I'll do it later." But if you want to be a topper, you must train yourself differently. Tell yourself, "I will not quit. I will not run away. I will endure." That is gamen. Even when your mind feels restless, even when your body feels tired, you stay with the work. Slowly, your brain learns that you are stronger than your excuses. Let me give you an example. Imagine a Japanese high school student preparing for university entrance exams. These exams are extremely tough and competitive. Thousands of students are fighting for very few seats. To succeed, they must study day after day, often for 10 to 12 hours. Do they get tired? Of course they do. Do they feel like giving up? Definitely. But what makes many of them succeed is not extraordinary intelligence. It is gamen. They keep sitting, keep reading, keep solving problems, even when they feel like quitting. That inner strength, built slowly over years of practice, makes them toppers. Now you might be thinking, but discipline is so hard. I don't have it. That's not true. Discipline is just like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. If today you sit for 30 minutes without getting distracted, tomorrow you may be able to sit for 40 minutes. Next week, maybe an hour. Slowly, you build the muscle of gamen. And the stronger your discipline becomes, the easier it is to fight temptations. Remember, toppers are not always the smartest students in class. They are not born with magical memory. What sets them apart is their ability to stick to their work with patience and self-control. They know how to say no to distractions. They know how to delay pleasure until their job is done. and because of that, they move ahead of others. Here is something very important to understand. Gammon is not about being harsh on yourself. It is not about suffering unnecessarily. It is about developing the strength to choose long-term success over short-term comfort. It means you can control your impulses, manage your emotions, and keep your focus steady. For example, if you feel stressed before an exam, instead of panicking, you breathe deeply and remind yourself, I can endure this. I can handle this. That is also gammon. So, my dear friend, if you truly want to become a topper, make gammon your daily practice. Start small. The next time you feel tempted to scroll on your phone, stop yourself and return to your book. When you feel lazy and want to skip your homework, remind yourself of your bigger goal. Every little victory builds your discipline muscle. Over time, you will become unshakable. Always remember this. Success does not belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most disciplined. And discipline is nothing but the daily practice of gammon. If you master this Japanese secret, nothing in the world can stop you from becoming a topper. Secret 5. Hansei. Reflect and improve. One of the most powerful habits in Japanese culture is something called hansei, which means self-reflection. At its core, hansei is about looking back at your actions, your results, and your behavior, and then asking yourself two very important questions. What went wrong? And what can I do better next time? This practice may sound simple, but it is one of the strongest reasons why Japanese students, workers, and even leaders continue to grow and achieve success year after year. Think for a moment about how most students behave after an exam. When the test is over, many students breathe a sigh of relief and say, "It's finished. I don't care about it anymore." They close their books, forget about their mistakes, and move on without looking back. But this attitude means they lose the chance to learn from the experience. On the other hand, Japanese students do something very different. After an exam, they don't just walk away. They sit down quietly and reflect. They ask themselves, where did I go wrong? Which part of the subject confused me? Did I make mistakes because of a lack of practice? Did I waste time on questions I could not solve? By doing this, they turn every failure into a lesson. This is what makes hansei so powerful. It changes the way you see mistakes. Many students treat mistakes as something shameful. They feel embarrassed or discouraged. But Japanese culture teaches that mistakes are not the end. They are valuable feedback. Failure is not a punishment. It is a teacher. Every mistake is a message, and if you take the time to reflect, you can hear what that message is telling you. This is why Japanese students are able to improve quickly. They don't keep repeating the same errors because they analyze, learn, and adjust their strategy for the next time. Let's take a simple example. Imagine a student who receives low marks in math. A normal reaction would be sadness or frustration. Maybe he thinks, I'm just not good at math. Or he blames the teacher, or he complains that the exam was unfair. But a student practicing hansei would take a very different approach. Instead of blaming external things, he would look within himself. He would reflect. Did I not practice enough problems? Did I misunderstand the formula? Did I make silly mistakes in calculation because I was nervous? Did I manage my time badly? By asking these questions, he finds the real reasons behind his poor result. And once he understands the reasons, he can fix them. Next time, he will practice more problems, review the formulas carefully, and keep an eye on his time management. As a result, his score will improve. Hansei is not just about studies. It is about life. After every project, every conversation, every task, the Japanese practice reflection. Even big companies in Japan use Hansei sessions after completing projects. They gather their employees and ask them, what worked well? What went wrong? What can we do better next time? This is one of the reasons Japanese companies became world leaders in technology, cars, and electronics. They don't settle for good enough. They keep reflecting, improving, and growing. Another important lesson from Hansei is humility. When you reflect honestly, you admit that you are not perfect and that you still have space to grow. This attitude keeps you grounded. Many average students or workers have the opposite mindset. When something goes wrong, they immediately blame others, the teacher, the boss, the system, or bad luck. But toppers and achievers take responsibility. They say, I could have done better. I will learn from this and improve. This difference in attitude is what separates the average from the excellent. Now let's bring this into your own daily life. Starting today, after every test, every study session, and even after every day, take 5 minutes for Hansei. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? Write it down if possible, because writing makes your reflection more powerful. Over time, you will begin to see patterns in your behavior. You will notice which habits help you succeed and which habits hold you back. Slowly, you will replace your bad habits with stronger ones. Remember, success is not about being perfect. Success is about improving little by little every single day. Hansei helps you do exactly that. If you reflect daily, your progress will never stop. You will grow in confidence, in knowledge, and in skill. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that these small 5-minute reflections created a huge difference in your life. So embrace the spirit of Hansei. Do not run away from mistakes. Face them, reflect on them, and learn from them. Because every mistake has a hidden gift inside it. A lesson that can make you stronger, smarter, and more successful. Secret 6. Omoyari, respect and responsibility. In Japan, one of the most beautiful and powerful values taught to students is something called omoyari. The word may sound new to you, but its meaning is something you already understand deep in your heart. Omoyari means thinking about others, or simply put, it is the habit of caring, respecting, and being responsible toward the people around you. It is not just about being polite on the outside. It is about developing an inner mindset of respect and responsibility that shines through in your daily actions. When you walk into a Japanese classroom, you will notice something different. The classrooms are clean, quiet, and organized. But here's the surprising part. The cleaning is not done by janitors. It is done by the students themselves. Every day they take turns sweeping the floor, wiping the desks, and making sure their environment looks fresh. Why do they do this? Because they are taught omoyari from a young age. They are taught that respect is not only for people, but also for places, tools, and even time. When they clean their classroom, they are not just removing dust, they are building character. They are learning that responsibility is not something you wait for others to handle. Responsibility starts with you. Now you may ask, how does this help me become a topper? How does cleaning my desk or respecting others make me better in studies? The answer is simple but very powerful. When you respect your environment, your teachers, your classmates, and your own responsibilities, you create a positive atmosphere for learning. Imagine two students. One keeps their desk messy, doesn't care about others, and only studies for themselves. The other keeps their space clean, helps classmates when they struggle, and shows gratitude to teachers. Who do you think will grow into a more successful person? The second one, of course. Because success is not just about memorizing facts. It is about building habits, discipline, and character that carry you through life. When you practice omoyari, something magical happens. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to notice that when you explain a math problem to a friend, your own understanding becomes stronger. When you help your classmate prepare for an exam, your brain recalls the lessons more clearly. Teaching and helping others is one of the best ways to learn deeply. This is a hidden secret many students don't realize. In trying to make others better, you also make yourself better. Omoyari also teaches humility. In Japan, even the top students are humble. They do not brag about their marks. They do not insult others who score less. They do not pull people down to look taller. Instead, they lift others up. They encourage their classmates. They respect their teachers as guides, not just as people who give homework. And because of this humble attitude, opportunities naturally come to them. Teachers trust them more. Classmates admire them. They build a reputation of being not only smart, but also kind. In the long run, this reputation becomes a powerful asset. People with respect and responsibility are the ones who get chosen for leadership, scholarships, and great opportunities in life. Think about it. Would you rather work with someone who is selfish, arrogant, and only cares about their own marks? Or with someone who is disciplined, respectful, and helpful? The answer is clear. Success is not only about knowledge. It is about relationships, trust, and responsibility. Now let's bring this to your own life. If you want to be a topper, don't just focus on yourself. Focus also on how you treat others. Do you respect your teachers when they speak, or do you get distracted? Do you help your classmates when they are confused, or do you ignore them? Do you keep your study space organized, or do you let it become messy? These small choices reflect your character. And character, more than talent, decides your long-term success. Start small. Begin by keeping your desk clean. Notice how your mind feels lighter when your environment is tidy. Next, practice helping one classmate every week. Maybe explain a concept, maybe share notes, or maybe just encourage them when they feel low. Over time, you will notice your own confidence growing. You will feel more responsible, more respected, and more capable. Finally, remember this. The more responsibility you take, the more successful you will become. Do not wait for others to fix problems. Step forward. Show initiative. Respect your teachers, help your friends, and respect your time. This is the essence of omoyari. It is not just a Japanese secret, it is a universal truth. Those who think about others, respect others, and take responsibility always rise higher in life. So if you truly want to be a topper, make omoyari a part of your daily life. Not just in your studies, but in every action. Be humble, be respectful, be responsible. And you will discover that success does not just come from hard work, it comes from character. Secret 7. Ganbaru, never give up. The final and most powerful Japanese secret is called ganbaru. This word is more than just a habit. It is a way of life in Japan. Ganbaru means to give your best effort, to keep going, and to never give up, no matter how hard things become. It is not about being perfect. It is not about winning every time. It is about refusing to quit until you have given everything inside you. In Japan, people encourage each other by saying "ganbate," which means do your best. Keep trying. Don't stop now. This simple phrase carries immense power, and it has helped millions of students, workers, and athletes achieve their goals. Ganbaru is seen everywhere in Japan. From students learning difficult subjects to workers building important projects, this spirit is at the heart of Japanese success. When challenges arise, they do not complain or give up. They face the problem, work patiently, and keep moving forward. Even when the task seems impossible, they continue step by step. This is the true meaning of Ganbaru, the determination to push through difficulty, no matter how tiring or overwhelming it may feel. For students, Ganbaru is the key that separates average learners from toppers. Many students feel discouraged when they encounter a hard subject like mathematics, science, or foreign languages. The first mistake, the first failure, or the first low score can make them feel like quitting. But students who practice Ganbaru do something very different. They look at the difficulty as a challenge, not a barrier. They keep practicing, reviewing, and trying again, even if progress feels slow. This persistence turns weaknesses into strengths and confusion into understanding. In Japanese schools, Ganbaru is practiced every day. Imagine a student learning to write the complex Japanese kanji characters. At first, their strokes are messy, their writing uneven. It is frustrating. But instead of giving up, the student continues to practice. They rewrite the same character dozens of times, sometimes hundreds of times, until it becomes perfect. Each repetition strengthens their skill, their patience, and their focus. That is Ganbaru in action, the refusal to quit until mastery is achieved. Ganbaru also teaches students an important lesson about life. Setbacks are not the end of the journey. There will be tests you do not pass, assignments you struggle with, and days when nothing seems to go right. This is normal. What matters is how you respond. Do you give up and accept defeat, or do you keep moving forward with all your energy? Students who practice Ganbaru choose the latter. They know that every small effort adds up over time, and that even small progress is still progress. This habit strengthens both the mind and character. By never giving up, students learn patience, endurance, and confidence. They become people who do not fear challenges because they know they can overcome them. They learn to control frustration and stay calm under pressure. These qualities are just as important as knowledge for anyone who wants to become a topper. After all, exams, projects, and life challenges will always have obstacles. The one who gives up first never wins. Applying Ganbaru in your own studies is simple but requires commitment. When you face a difficult problem, do not avoid it. Take a deep breath, focus, and try again. If a subject feels impossible, break it into small steps and keep going. When you fail a test, analyze what went wrong and work on it patiently. Keep a positive attitude, even when progress is slow. Over time, your persistence will become a habit, and nothing will feel impossible anymore. Ganbaru is not just about studying. It is about life. It is about continuing to do your best, no matter the circumstances. It is about being patient with yourself, staying committed to your goals, and believing in your ability to succeed. Challenges will come. You will feel tired, frustrated, and sometimes defeated. But if you carry Ganbaru in your heart, you will keep moving forward. So, my dear friend, make Ganbaru your daily habit. Every day remind yourself, I will try my best. I will not give up. I will keep moving forward. When you live with this spirit, one day you will look back and realize something amazing. You became a topper not because life was easy, not because you never failed, but because you never gave up. Ganbaru, the never give up spirit, is the secret that can turn any student into a champion. Final words for you. My dear friend, these 7 Japanese secrets are not just lessons for students in Japan. They are for you, for me, for every student who dreams of success. These are habits, mindsets, and ways of thinking that can change your life if you apply them consistently. They are simple, yet powerful. And when you practice them, you will notice something amazing. Success will start to feel natural, not forced. Kaizen, the power of small steps. Kaizen teaches you to grow step by step. You do not need to make huge leaps all at once. Small, daily improvements add up to massive progress over time. If you practice a little every day, even just 30 minutes, you will build skills, knowledge, and confidence that last a lifetime. Remember, water drops can carve a rock not by force, but by persistence. Ikigai, find your reason to study. Ikigai gives you a reason to study. When your studies are connected to a bigger purpose, your dreams, your family, your goals, learning becomes more than memorization. It becomes meaningful. Every hour spent studying becomes a step toward the life you want. With Ikigai, even difficult subjects become exciting challenges. Shuchu Ryoku, the art of deep focus. Shuchu Ryoku trains your focus. 1 hour of concentrated study is more effective than many distracted hours. When you truly focus, you absorb more, understand more, and remember more. Learning to control your attention is learning to control your results. The stronger your focus, the faster you rise. Gamen, discipline and patience. Gamen builds your discipline. Life is full of distractions, temptations, and challenges. Toppers are not the smartest. They're the most disciplined. Practicing patience and self-control makes you resilient. The more you endure, the stronger you become. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more powerful it grows. Hansei, reflect and improve. Hansei helps you reflect and improve. Mistakes are not failures. They are opportunities. By analyzing your errors and asking, what can I do better next time? You turn setbacks into growth. Toppers are learners of life, constantly improving. Reflection keeps your progress steady and unstoppable. Omoyari, respect and responsibility. Omoyari teaches respect and responsibility. Success is not only about marks, it is about character. Respect your teachers, help your classmates, and take responsibility for your actions. A positive attitude and a caring heart will open doors that intelligence alone cannot. By lifting others, you lift yourself. Ganbaru, never give up. Ganbaru gives you the spirit to never give up. Challenges will come, obstacles will appear, but true success belongs to those who keep trying. Toppers are not those who never fail. They are those who persist day after day, even when it is hard. Ganbaru is the fire inside that refuses to let you quit. If you follow these 7 secrets, slowly but surely, you will rise higher. You will not only become a topper in exams, but also a topper in life. Your growth will be steady, your character will be strong, and your mind will be sharp. So from today, don't just study hard, study smart. Study with purpose. Study with these timeless Japanese secrets guiding you. Your future self will thank you, and one day, you will look back and realize that these simple habits changed everything.